Welcome into the D Event Center for High School Rewind's coverage of the 2015 5A Boys State Championship Basketball Tournament, brought to you on live.ksl.com, DeseretNews.com, and anytime on Xfinity On Demand. I am Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us for our first round matchup. Taylorsville and Viewmont. These are two teams. This will be a lot of fun. Contrasting styles. Taylorsville likes to get up and down the floor. Jamison Tongue is averaging over 16 points a game, but Taylorsville likes to push it to the limit. They like to go fast, they like to go hard. Viewmont likes to run a little bit more of a half-court offense. This will be interesting how things go. Austin Johnson is their leading scorer, and they're going to play very well for both these teams being this game, but we expect to be very close. It should be a lot of fun. Let's go to the first round action. You are watching High School Rewind only on Xfinity On Demand.
Championship basketball.
And we're set for the opening tip-off between Taylorsville and Viewmont. And the tip is controlled by the Viewmont Vikings. Viewmont comes in out of Region 1. And Taylorsville comes out of Region 2. Three on the way and short. Last time we saw Viewmont was against Lone Peak, as Austin Johnson knocks down his first bucket, and it's 2-0. So we mentioned in the open, it is up and down action when you play against Taylorsville. They like to push it up and down the floor and run at a helter-skelter pace. One person to look out for as well is right here, number 40, Remy Prince. Turnover, and we're gonna go the other way with Viewmont. Quick up the floor with Jake Walker. Walker gives it up to Braden Aldridge. Now in the corner with Cleghorn. Down the lane and trying to kick it out. And it'll stay here.
On to number 20, Connor Ivins. His first, it is the first Warriors team foul.
Triggering in. Here's Aldridge, kick it up top, three on the way from Austin Johnson. And Austin Johnson now with 5 points here in the early going, and it's 5-0 Viewmont. On the other end of the floor, three on the way, well off the mark from Tongue. Rebound, Canapari, and Canapari is caught traveling.
Vikings basketball.
6:42 remaining in the first quarter, 5-0 Vikings. Full court pressure from Taylorsville, trying to speed up the pace of the game. Here near side, Braden Aldridge. Now up the floor to Jake Walker. Walker in the corner, Austin Johnson, another three, and it goes in. It wanted to come out and stayed down. Johnson now with 8 points. It's Johnson 8, T-Ville 0. Canapari down the lane, jump stopping into the lane, and he's fouled. I want to welcome on our stream Dane Stewart. Going to be joining me color commentary in this game.
How about that? Doing a great job, too.
T-Ville to trigger in and get it to Tongue. Here's Canapari straight away. Back to Tongue. Tongue down the lane, give it up. And Remy Prince on the baseline, and Prince is fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot two.
Interesting, you get a guy like Prince down low, and one of the shortest guys on the team, but getting underneath that zone and drawing the contact, good work.
I'm not sure what his position is, Dane, but he just hangs around the baseline. That's all he does. He works either side of the key and waits for a little opening as he now gets T-Ville on the board at the first free throw.
Listed at 6 foot, one of the smallest forwards you'll see.
Prince made the first and gets the second. And gets T-Ville on the board, 8-2. Full court pressure, and now broken by Viewmont. Into the front court with Jake Walker. Walker in the corner, Austin Johnson again, and this one goes in and out. Rebound to the big fella, can't get it to go. That was James Walton. And the rebound, we had a foul on the board, and it'll go with T-ville.
That might be one of the advantages today is Walton down low. He's a big kid for the Vikings.
You know, in that Lone Peak game, I don't remember him playing that much. I'm thinking back, granted, that was late December. It's 8-2. The foul goes against Aldridge. Looking down the floor. This is Ivins. Ivins up top of Tongue, swinging around Canapari. Canapari, give it up to Ivins. Nice find, Prince. Oh, inside, swat away by Walton. Now on the run with Jake Walker. Walker bounce pass into Johnson, and Johnson's fouled by, I believe, Remy Prince. It'll be 2 free throws for Austin Johnson.
Really good ball movement. Light going inside, getting it to McKay. But excellent job by Walton coming over and getting the block in 6-7. It's going to be a big advantage all game long. You can tell already.
Johnson is the first free throw. Johnson hit the first, has got one more. And rattles home the second.
Scary, they haven't even got Jake Walker going yet. He's averaging 16 points a game coming in tonight, or to this playoff game. And he hasn't scored yet. Offense looking good early.
Prince loses the ball out of bounds. They'll inbound on the far side. Tongue to trigger in. Tongue along the baseline. Leaves it for the big fella. That's McKay, or Thomas McKay, or Mackey, pardon me. Mackey with it after the miss from Prince. Kick out to Tongue. Tongue pulls up inside the arc, and Jameson Tongue gets his first bucket.
Nice job. Taylorsville wanting to get the ball inside, but again, that big presence of Walton making it tough.
Austin Johnson misses the bunny. Maybe Prince got a piece of it, but I thought he left that shy off the glass, cooking down the floor.
It's almost like he felt McKay coming from behind on it.
Canapari straight away with Tongue. Tongue up top to Ivins. Ivins give it up McKay. Cross court to Tongue. Tongue put on the floor, hard to the hole, float it up and score it. Jameson Tongue gets his second bucket. Full court pressure still on. They quickly breaking it is Jameson Smith. Now near side with Josh Richens. And now Jake Walker. Walker gets around Ivins inside the arc, and Walker buries it.
That's the kid, second leading scorer for the Vikings coming in. Mentioned average 16. Good find right there.
Tongue for three, and Jameson Tongue, 7 straight points. And it's now 12-9.
Boy, Johnson got off to the hot start. Now Tongue responding for Taylorsville, getting him back in it.
Outside with Walker. Johnson floated and score it.
Can't leave the ball on that play. Johnson gets the ball, gives a little fake. T-ville backs off defensively and allows a wide open lane.
And Canapari is fouled on the dish. That would have been an easy 2 for Remy Prince. And they'll be inbound along the baseline.
Substitutions for the Vikings, number 25.
3:42 remaining in the first, a 5-point lead to the Vikings.
And you know, Walton just checked out of the game for Viewmont. Taylorsville wanted to go inside. I'm actually surprised they didn't right there with the big man out.
Tongue misses the 3, boarded by Prince, gets off to Ivins. Ivins rotates, gives up to McKay. Kick outside, Canapari for 3. Canapari down the barrel and good.
I had Canapari once. Didn't really sit well.
It's calamari.
That's what I bring.
Quickly down the floor. Up top with Jake Walker. Austin Johnson looking to get caught with the travel. 3, kick out, 3 on the way, no. Johnson with the board. Ball stripped away, and it's going to be a foul on Taylorsville. And they're saying 2 shots. It's going to be 2 shots to Austin Johnson as he was trying to kick it out.
And even bigger, that's the second foul on Prince. Early on to pick up number 2 for Remy Prince.
And Johnson back rims the first free throw. Well, Prince not going to come off the floor, obviously. Well, yes, he is. Mackey was running off the floor. Prince now goes to the bench. First free throw, no good from Johnson. The second off the front of the iron as well, but the rebound to Viewmont. Kick back up top to Johnson. Hits a cutting number 25, Max Hadlock, and Hadlock gets the bucket.
Well, an excellent recognition. McKay was off chasing the initial rebound on the play and left a wide open lane for Hadlock that time.
Crosby Bringhurst holding the near side up top. Canapari back to Bringhurst. Bringhurst give it up to Tongue. That was a lackadaisical pass picked off by Austin Johnson. Now up the floor with Jake Walker. 2.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Lob inside and a foul on Austin Johnson. And it'll be the fourth personal foul.
Yeah, 14 fouls apiece. We've still got 2.5 left here in the first. Been a lot of whistles here early on.
That means a long second quarter.
That it does.
Viewmont to trigger in. Get into Jake Walker. Walker hands off to Josh Richens, now cross court to Hewish. Walker for three, and Walker off the iron. Rebound taken by Canapari. Canapari on the push. Goes right down the lane and can't get the bucket to go. And the rebound collected by Josh Richens.
Boy, Richens, the man who caused a little hesitation on the drive as well.
And Hewish can't get the bucket. Hadlock with the board, kicks out top. Three on the way from Richens off the mark. Tracked down by Johnson. He leaves it to Walker. Walker can't get it to go. And once again, Hadlock working the boards and kicks it back up top. Johnson to Richens, drive the lane, give it up Hadlock. He deserves a bucket, but he does. Kick it out to Johnson. Johnson's mid-range J, back rimmed. And now on the run with Canapari. Canapari leaves it to Jameson Tongue. Tongue along the baseline, straight away. Bringhurst for three. No, and the rebound to Hadlock.
Boy, you know, tough. You just spent about a minute playing defense after you couldn't get a rebound and a quick shot, and now you're right back down on the defensive end for Taylorsville.
Inside out, Richens for three, and Richens can't get it to go. Rebound. Johnson, and Johnson couldn't get the shot, but gets the call, and it'll be 2 free throws to Austin Johnson.
And that's off another offensive rebound. I mean, right now, Viewmont just controlling the glass and getting a lot of extra chances at the hoop.
You know, if Walton's in the game, I understand it. But Erie's about the same size on the floor right now as Johnson knocks down the first free throw.
Well, and it's chasing balls down. You know, it's balls that are coming off the rim, long rebounds, running after it, chasing them down.
Austin Johnson knocks down his free throws, and he now has 14 first quarter points. That is quite the first quarter.
Just another day at the office.
Yeah, that ball nearly picked off back in the hands. And now working around. Here's Tongue, stolen by Walker. Got him from behind. Walker nearly stolen by Ajax. Walker down the lane, kicks out Richens, leaves it to a wide open Hewish, and Hewish can't get to go. Hadlock with another offensive board, and I believe that foul will go on Ajax, and it will, and we'll stay here.
That time, good positioning by Hadlock down low.
Hadlock has earned himself 10 minutes second half. 10 minutes in the second half at least. That's like his 4th offensive rebound.
Yeah, yeah. No, he doesn't look to be the biggest kid, but plays big down low and gives Viewmont a good body on the glass. Attack mindset, too.
6'3", 218. Listen, 41.5 remaining in the first quarter. Inbound into Walker. 40 seconds now remaining. Walker. The high post to Hadlock. Hadlock terminates, kicks up top to Richens. Richens back into Hadlock. Hadlock off the window and one. Been working the glass all first quarter. Gets the bucket and the foul. No go to the line, looking for the three-point play.
20 points in the first quarter for Viewmont here already. And tell you what, a lot of it's coming off their ball movement.
The +1 free throw off the back of the iron, and Canapari with the board. Down the floor with the Warriors. 20 seconds now remaining in the first quarter. Jameson Tongue rotates to the top, goes far side to Lyman. Lyman with his Best Zach Morse haircut. Up top now with Tongue. Tongue penetrate. Oh, he lost the handle. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second. It'll count if it goes. Yes, it will. Nice job looking up the floor. And Jake Walker gets the layup as the horn sounds. And at the end of one, it's Viewmont 22, Taylorsville 12. A helter-skelter first quarter, and it was all Viewmont. I mean, mentioned it, 14 first quarter points from Austin Johnson. I don't have enough room on the sheet I created to keep filling in all of his points. Hadlock with Hadlock with 4, and then Walker with 4 in the first quarter.
Boy, it came early too. Hit a couple big threes in that first minute or two, and then the ball movement, like we said, they're really getting Taylorsville on their heels defensively. The ball movement's creating a lot of space in about that 8 to 12 foot range. They're able to capitalize, and of course the offensive boards have certainly helped to give them second and third chance opportunities throughout that entire first quarter and help them to get to this 10-point lead.
I want to remind you, you're watching High School Rewind. Our coverage teamed up with live.ksl.com, DeseretNews.com, and of course anytime on Xfinity On Demand. Dusty Lister and Dane Stewart with you. Second quarter action, Viewmont 22, Taylorsville 12. And as we mentioned, it was a helter-skelter first quarter. If you're just joining us, it's game, I'm losing track now, game 5 of 8 here on Monday. We have 8 more games tomorrow. I bring you right here on live.ksl.com. Lyman near side with Canapari.
Zone's been good for Viewmont in that first quarter, especially protecting that baseline as Taylorsville's run a guy underneath there all quarter.
Mackey couldn't get to goal, and the board cleared by Hewish. Down the lane, Johnson kicks it out, leaves it for Walker for 3, and Walker leaves out the front of the iron. Another offensive board, but Austin Johnson couldn't get to go. Canapari quickly down the floor. Canapari give it up to Bringhurst. Bringhurst a little too close underneath the hoop, got blocked by the rim. Now quickly down the floor, here's Austin Johnson. Lyman is back, Johnson goes up, and they got a charge. With the halo, Lyman knew where to get to. And according to Mr. Official, he did. And a foul.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that call. I thought that may have been a block, but my vantage point from 50 feet away, not quite as good.
I don't know if I was on the floor if I would have been able to see if he was quite there. Up top with Jameson Tongue. Now Canapari down the lane, jump stop. Still working his way, and jackknifes it up. That ball was halfway down and came out. And now on the push. Here's Richens. Richens terminates, has the ball poked away. And a foul will go against Jameson Tongue, and it'll be 1-on-1 free throws.
Viewmont not afraid to push the ball. Tell you what, they will run up and down on you. And it's led to some good things here already.
Richens hits the first free throw.
Taylorsville substitution, Connor Ivins. Checks in, replacing Canapari.
Ivins comes in. Canapari will take a seat and get a breather. Richens hit the first, and the second rolls off, and the rebound cleared by Ivins. Quick up the floor now. Here's Tongue. Just because Canapari's not in the game doesn't mean they're not going to run. And they could have got Bringhurst when he caught the ball. Yeah. They got him after he stopped. It'll be traveling and go the other way with Viewmont.
Tell you what, Johnson, he's fallen off pace of his 56-point night. That was on track for it. Could have been up for nudge player of the game, but
well, we'll see. He still has some time left. Here's Walker for 3, and Walker buries the triple. Well, the first quarter.
That's what Taylorsville doesn't need. They don't need two guys able to hit those long shots. Johnson's hit a couple now. Walker.
Lyman fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. As right now it's a 14-point lead for the Viewmont Vikings.
Now call number 24, Austin Johnson. Personal foul number 2, team foul number 6. Lyman at the line.
Lyman at the line. His first free throw off the mark.
Checking in for the Vikings, number 32, Jamison Smith, replacing Johnson.
Lyman missed the first, has one more, and gets the second. Up the floor now with Walker and the Vikings. 6 minutes now remaining in the half. Up top with Walton. Walton, give it up to Hewish. Hewish finds Richens, fall away Jay off the front of the iron, crawls off. Walton trying to keep it alive and gets it. Power dribble, back to the middle, and can't get it to go. Tongue with the board, now on the push with the Warriors. Tongue, give it up to Lyman. Back to Tongue. That ball poked out of bounds by Richens and will stay here with Taylorsville.
I was going to say, get the ball inside to McKay. Let him do a little work against Walton. Walton back in the game, has one foul. Try to get it inside, get a good look from up close. They've shot a lot of threes and hasn't always turned out for him.
Full timeout, we'll take it. 5:34 remaining in the first half. Viewmont 26, T-ville 13. Out of the timeout, T-ville ball. Kick out to Lyman. Canapari, high post. Bringhurst has that one stolen. Walker up the floor. Walker leaves it around to Richens. Richens, oh, nice find inside to Walker. Jackknifes it up. Nice job of Mackey being right there. And now kick it up top to Hewish. Hewish inside out. Richens steps into a three. Front rim, no, and the rebound taken by Tongue. Jameson Tongue, he scores in spurts. He had a 7-point spurt in that first quarter. They're going to need him to get something going here. Bringhurst to Tongue. Here's Lyman. Now Tongue. Tongue will pull for three, back rim. And Ivins tracks it down. A nice job of Walker. And he stole that quickly on the move. Sizing him up and then getting the block, Jameson Smith. As Smith will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws.
A good idea by Jameson trying to get back, right? I mean, you want to make it a difficult shot, but got to make sure you get there in positioning at first, and if you don't, then at least don't let the shooter get the ball off.
More and more you're seeing that. Guys are just jumping in front. I don't know if it's because they're watching on Saturdays or if they're watching it on NBA games, but it's so late. They're getting there and almost just sticking themselves in front and going to force an official to make a call.
Yeah.
First free throw was off the mark from Smith, and he hits the second. 27-13 Viewmont. Outside of Ivins. Ivins up top with Ajak. Ajak did have that one poked away by Walker. Canapari tracks it down. 4.5 now remaining. Here's Ivins.
Really like the top of this zone for Viewmont. Between Walker and Richens, hands are always in the passing lanes. We saw them force a turnover on the last possession. There's another one.
Jameson Smith with the pick in the hands now of Walker. Walker up the floor. 4:10 remaining in the second quarter. Walker up top with Hewish for three. And Hewish knocks down the triple. First points of the game for Hewish. It opens it up to 17. Canapari to Bringhurst along the baseline. Kicks it up top, Ajak, 4-3, well short. And the rebound taken by Richens. Quickly ahead now to Walker. Walker leaves it back for Hadlock, 3 on the way from Richens. And that one lips out. Ajak, he is shoved to the floor by Mackey. Quickly down the floor with Canapari, no. Rebound claimed by Hewish. And that one poked away by Bringhurst. Bringhurst circles out, leaves it to Canapari. Canapari jackknifes it up and can't get it to go. And the rebound now to Walker. I'm still surprised, but no call on the 2-point takedown. And now Walker gets into Canapari and draws the foul.
Yeah, I was going to say that's how you finish a check. Did an excellent job, but things starting to get a little bit of chipping. I mean, you mentioned it. Kind of throwing off the defender that time as Canapari was up on Walker.
Back rim on the first free throw for Jake Walker. Prince comes back on. Remember, he had foul trouble. His 2 fouls. First free throw off the mark from Walker. The second one is true. 4 points here in the second quarter. Larson comes on for Coach Emery. We get down the floor now with Remy Prince. Prince working off the screen of Ajak. Ivins now to Canapari. Canapari leaves it to Prince, and Prince lays it up and in.
Remy Prince with an assist from Canapari.
They've missed that in the second quarter. Remy Prince just hovers around the hoop, and he just gets layups. Did that game against Hunter, and he had, I think it was 14 points, and he just hung around the rim, got easy layups all night long. Hard to the hole, and drawing a foul is Cole Hewish. There'll be 2 free throws for Hewish.
Well, and I was going to say, I mean, you talk about Remy Prince and a lot of, he's running that baseline and laying in previous contests, but right now Taylorsville is settling for a lot of threes. I mean, they are kicking and shooting a lot from long range, and it hasn't worked out for them here in this first half. I'm surprised they haven't tried to go down low a little more in this ballgame. Of course, Prince was out for a while because he had the 2 fouls. And he just picked up 3, unless they reverse this.
The foul goes on Ajax.
Correction. Foul number 25, Crosby Bringhurst.
Oh, Bringhurst. I'm catching from the angle.
Yeah.
He's doing here 2, not this 2.
Fundamentals, officials, fundamentals.
As though our listeners could see my hands and what I'm doing.
I can vouch for you.
First free throw good from Hewish. The second kicks off the front, and a rebound to Remy Prince. Quinn on the floor now with Ajak. Ajak kicks it out to Ivins. Ivins up top, Canapari. Canapari over to Bringhurst. Thought about 3. Gets into a jump step. And now a foul will be charged to Braden Aldridge. And that's a big foul on Aldridge. I think that's his second or his third. His third personal.
17th foul, and in the penalty, the 1-and-1 coming at the line for Aaron Canapari.
Canapari at the line for the front end of 1-and-1.
Jake Walker also back on the floor for the Vikings, and in now for the Warriors, number 23, Jamison Tong.
Tong comes back on the floor. Canapari hit the front end of 1-and-1. And rattles home the second. Canapari with 5 first half points. Down the floor, up by 15. Viewmont, 32-17. Jameson Smith to Hewish. Tried to leave it underneath, couldn't get it. Hadlock comes away with it. Big fellow rumbles out, it's outside the 3-point line. Give it up to Walker for 3. Can't get it to go. Tipped around, and now finally claimed by Remy Prince. Prince gives it up to Bringhurst. He tries the Allen Iverson long-range skip pass, picked off.
2 minutes and a half.
And now Jake Walker.
Could say he didn't have the answer on that play.
Walker reverses, can't get it to go. Rebound to Hadlock, goes back up, and the big fella lays it up and in. He now has 6 points in the first quarter, and he probably has that many rebounds. We got a foul on the drive, and it'll be 1-1 free throws once again for Canapari.
Number 12, Kason Larson, his first. 8 Vikings Josh Richards now checks in.
I want to remind you to follow us on Twitter at HS Rewind. We're tweeting out our top 5 plays from the day. Front end of 1-on-1 from Canapari. He leaves it short. Hadlock with the board. And back down the floor with a 17-point lead. See how Viewmont finishes out the half. 1:35 now remaining. Comes to a stop. Walker is trapped, gets it out. Here's Smith. Back up top to Walker. Walker finds Smith underneath. Smith over Canapari. And Smith gets it to go. Now with 3 points, his first field goal.
To bring that trapping D oftentimes allows gaps and holes, and Viewmont able to take advantage that time. Another lay-in underneath.
Canapari, and they're going to have a jump ball. Good call. Well, that was a right call. We'll go the other way with Viewmont. A little quick draw to the whistle, but better than a reach in.
Yeah, because it was great D. Hand right on the ball. Couldn't get the shot off. Excellent job on the play that time by Walker.
1:05 on a rolling clock and a 19-point lead for Viewmont. Nice find inside. Smith gives it up to Hadlock and the big fella. Now with 8 points in the first half.
And again, you see just that space created by quick ball movement against a team that's trying to trap defensively.
Tongue couldn't get it to go. And Viewmont will bring it up the floor. 45 seconds remaining in the first half. Here's Richens. Taylorsville is unable to just force any turnovers, and their offense has been hit or miss. Now 30 seconds remaining in the half. Walker gives it up to Smith. They're run this thing all the way down. Here's 20 seconds. Now Walker. In the first quarter, it was Austin Johnson. We mentioned he had 14 points in the first quarter. The second quarter is about Jake Walker. Here's Walker with 5 seconds. Walker terminates high post. Hewish blocked. Prince now in the hands of Hadlock will count if it goes and couldn't get it to go. And at the end of the half, the Vikings go into the locker room with a commanding 21-point lead. They lead Taylorsville 38-17. Again, you are watching High School Rewind's coverage of the 2015 5A Boys State Championship Basketball Tournament, brought to you on live.ksl.com, DeseretNews.com, and anytime on Xfinity On Demand.
And please welcome out for your halftime entertainment, the Viewmont Drill Team. For the second half of action, both ball clubs come back with their starters. For the Vikings, Walker, Aldridge, Johnson, Smith, Walton. For the Warriors, Canapari, Ivins.
And welcome back. We're ready for second half action. See if T-ville, what kind of adjustments they made in the locker room. Jameson Tongue had a strong first quarter. He's held scoreless in the second quarter. He and Austin Johnson were putting up points, scored 21 points between the two of them, and neither of them scored in the second. Wild shot by Remy Prince, rebounded by Viewmont. And back down the floor, here's Walton. Braden Aldridge into the corner. Austin Johnson, long range two, no. And a rebound tracked down by Jameson Smith. He leaves it for Walker for three, back rimmed, and a rebound taken by Ivins. Ivins cooking in the front court, give it up to Mackey.
Find.
And Mackey lays it up and in.
Good find. That's not an easy play to make when you've got a bunch of defenders running down and you've got Mackey behind a couple of them, able to see him. That's an excellent pass and finish.
19-point lead for Viewmont. Austin Johnson working on Remy Prince. Step back, Jade Johnson knocks down the shot.
Back into his first quarter mode, and he scored 14.
So 16 on the game, out of bounds. And we'll go back to Viewmont. One of those days. Had a couple teams with some of these days.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
Inbound into Braden Aldridge. The 21-point lead for Viewmont. They look very, very good. Remember, this is a team that knocked off Layton. They gave Davis a chance to be the 1 seed in the tournament. Layton was on a roll, and it was Viewmont that beat him. Play down the floor. Tongs was the intended receiver, picked off by Braden Aldridge. Quick on the move for the Vikings. Aldridge down the lane, got stuck, floated it up and scored. He did not want to do that. He was going to look to kick to the corner. He got caught, flipped it off the glass and scores.
You mentioned one of those days, right? One of those days for one team and one of those days for the others. The lead now up to 23.
So Aldridge with the bucket and one coming at the line.
Here's the +1. That's well off the mark. Rebound taken by Ivins. Ivins races into the front court. Holding on, gives it into Remy Prince. Prince inside to Mackey. Mackey can't get it to go, and the rebound cleared by Johnson in the hands of Walker.
See, that's what Taylorsville should have been doing in that second quarter, attacking the hoop, good ball movement against the defense.
Mackey with the board off the miss from Walker. Ivins inside out, Tongue for 3, and Tongue knocks down the triple. Need him to get on a run to make this a ball game. Tongue knocks down the 3.
Could use a few of those right now. The 3 ball wasn't falling in the first half. It's time for that shot to start going in the hoop for the Warriors.
Into the corner, drop it inside, and a ball slapped away. Here comes Remy Prince racing down the other end, and Prince will lay it up and in. Timeout, Coach Emery. 5:33 remaining in the third. T-ville on a short little run, 42-24. I want to remind you, at the close of this game, we're going to select the Nudge Player of the Game. With over 500 employees, Nudge is one of the fastest growing companies in Utah Valley. To learn more about Nudge and their community outreach program, go to www.nudge.com. Also, all broadcasts powered by Xfinity Internet. To learn more about Xfinity, its X1 system, and the Xfinity Triple Play, go to xfinity.com. And also want to remind you, we have 8 games today, 8 games tomorrow. We'll be tweeting out top 5 plays from every day. Follow us on Twitter at HSRewind. On Twitter, HSRewind. We'd love to get your feedback of who you think the players should be. Or if we're mispronouncing names, if it's McKay and not Mackey. I knew there was Coach Mackey, who was a baseball coach at Taylorsville, and he spelled it the same way. I'm assuming that's his son.
See, and I've been saying McKay. So
now I only know that because I coached against him.
Yeah.
And it was spelled McKay, and he was like, no, it's Coach Mackey. Like, well,
tweet us and let us know.
Yeah, let us know. If I'm off, I can own that. It's okay. So out of the timeout, 5.5 remaining in the third quarter, and an 18-point lead.
You know, we were talking at halftime, Dusty, when you're down, a lot of teams want to shoot a lot of threes, but really that's when you need to start playing good D. And that's what it is for Taylorsville right now. You've had a couple buckets, gotten some steals. Right now it's time to hunker down defensively.
3 on the way, off the mark, rebound taken by Ivins. Well, that's what fellow Region 2 team did. Noah Tongai decided he was going to stop shooting jumpers, started going to the hole, and they started playing good trap defense. And there's a steal and a pass out. Cooking on the floor with Aldridge. Oh, got around Canapari and lays it up and in. Canapari was camped waiting for the bump, and it never came.
And we mentioned back in the first half, if you're going to try to draw the charge, you got to make sure you get there. Canapari did, but excellent recognition. Just step around it.
Tongue again for 3. He thought that was online, and it was a little too strong. We'll go the other way. He had the hop going. I know that.
Happens to the best of us.
Jake Walker comes back in the ball game as Aldridge will take a seat. Richens comes in as well as Jameson Smith gives way. We get on the floor now with Walker and Viewmont looking to extend this 20-point lead. Hewish for 3, and Hewish knocks down the triple.
Excellent play design by Viewmont. Run him off a couple high screens, come around, get the ball, square up, shoot it away.
Out of bounds will stay here with Taylorsville. Tongue, that ball's picked off by Walker. Walker has that one slapped away from behind by Ivins, and will stay here and inbound along the baseline.
Mentioned earlier, that top of that 2-3 zone for Viewmont's been really good all game.
Inbound jumper on the way from Johnson. And Austin Johnson, he's lost the groove. He needs to get a hold of Stella, get his groove back.
I thought I felt a burst of air conditioning come in. That may have had a
that ball hung
impact.
up.
It did.
Tongue up top. With Ivins now back to Tongue. He hands off Canapari. 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Little two-man weave. Here's Canapari. Back to Tongue. Now drop it inside Remy Prince. Prince reverses out, back to Canapari. Canapari stuck, kicks out to Ivins. Ivins terminates out to Tongue. He pulls for three and buries it. And that's a tough three. That pass was low below the hip, and he's able to get that ball up and bury the triple.
Well, especially when you had a shot just a possession or two ago that wasn't close, and then you're taking that exact same shot with the defender closing out on you. It's a good play.
Richens beats Tongue to the hole, and Richens lays it up and in.
And right now for Viewmont, these are all screens away from the ball, setting up runners, setting up passes. That it's just absolutely right now dissecting Taylorsville's defense.
Timeout T-ville, 3:15 remaining in the third. Viewmont 49, Taylorsville 27. Full timeout, and we'll take it with them.
Also want to say thank you to RPT, providing sports medicine and physical therapy care from Little League to professional athletes. RPT provides sports medicine services for 8 local high schools. RPT, the official sport medicine sponsor of the Utah High School Activities Association.
Out of the timeout, Prince has that ball knocked out of bounds by Johnson. We'll stay here with the Warriors. Certainly not the day that Taylorsville thought they would have. Inbound,
go ahead.
Inbound into Tongue for three. That ball was on line, just short. Canapari for three. Canapari just short. And now on the run. Walker around Canapari, blocked by Canapari, and then taken by Ivins. Ivins on the push. Terminates, drop it inside of Remy Prince. Back out to Tongue. Tongue weaves his way out to Canapari. Corner three. No. Canapari keeps it alive. Jameson Tongue will pull for three. No. Ivins gets the offensive board, leaves it to Prince. Prince is fouled on the shot by Hadlock. And it'll be Remy Prince shooting 2 free throws.
Love to see Taylorsville chasing down those loose balls. You know, there was a couple minutes there in that first half where that's what Viewmont was doing, really helped them to create some separation on the scoreboard. Now Taylorsville doing the exact same thing, is trying to claw back in this ball game.
And Remy Prince. Now, to his defense, Taylorsville's gym, the wall is about where at the back of the standard.
Yeah.
There's not much room there. And when you shoot in these open venues like this, it is really, really difficult. Prince missed the first and gets the second. And if you've never done it, I remember the first time I did it. That was hard. You feel like the rim is right in front of your face.
Yeah.
You just leave them short. 49-28. 2:25 remaining on the clock. Here's Smith outside Walker for three, and it crawls in. That kind of night for Viewmont. That's 11 points now for Walker.
Yeah, and he is their best three-ball shooter coming in, and he's really felt it from long range today.
Tipped up by Prince, couldn't get it to go off the three ball from Bringhurst. 2 minutes remaining in the third. Leave it back for Walton. Yeah, Walton kept on moving. And we'll go the other way.
Checking in for Taylorsville, number 35, Mario Aja. For under 2 minutes in the quarter. 2 minutes.
Minute 50 remaining. Almost minute 50. Now minute 50 remaining in the third quarter. Up top, Tongue. Near side, Ajak. Ajak kicks out. Now leaves it on the baseline to bring her, or pardon me, to Prince. Now Bringhurst. Now Ivans. Ivans holding cross court. Ajak. Ajak thought about three, hangs on, pressured on the shot, can't get it to go. Rebound, Remy Prince. He kicks out Jameson Tongue. Tongue, bunch of moves, floated up, no. Rebound, Remy Prince goes up and scores. Nice job, Remy Prince. Get that possession alive and then gets himself a bucket.
Well, it wasn't the first time that possession was kept alive for Taylorsville either. Tell you what, I really like the drive put on by Tongue that time. Getting to the hoop. Nice jump step.
Austin Johnson buries the triple, and he's now got 19.
While one team has struggled with the three ball, the other team alive and well from beyond the arc between Johnson and Walker.
Ajak will pull for three. Off the miss, down the floor now with Viewmont, leading by 25 points. Outside, Austin Johnson. Johnson drives to the lane, off the glass and in. Now enters the 20s. 21 points on the night for Johnson, leading all scores.
Solid candidate for the Nudge Player of the Game, huh?
Leader in the clubhouse. Moving down the, off the steal. Oh, swatted away by Ajak. Quick on the move. Bringhurst has that pass picked off. Now tipped up in the air. There's 10 seconds remaining in the quarter. And we'll go down the floor at Viewmont. I like to see guys giving effort.
Yeah.
25-point game, Ajak goes up and pins that ball on the backboard.
You know, that reminded me of the first quarter. First quarter was up and down, back and forth for these two squads, and had a nice little show of that again right there.
Eldridge, fancy ball move handling. 2 seconds. And it won't get a shot off. That does it for the third quarter. At the end of three, it's all Vikings. Viewmont leads 57-30 over Taylorsville. You are watching High School Rewind's coverage of the 2015 5A Boys State Championship Basketball Tournament on live.ksl.com, DeseretNews.com, and anytime on Xfinity On Demand.
Coming up next, it's the Lone Pink Knights and the Copper Hills Grizzlies. We've got a 5:50 tip start for that first round action. Already punching their tickets to the quarterfinals Wednesday, Pleasant Grove Davis and Hunter Brighton. The winner of this ballgame will play the winner of the next contest between Lone Pink and Copper Hills at 4:10 Wednesday, 4:10 tip. Cole Hewish and Michael Jenkins check in now for the Vikings to begin this fourth quarter. Vikings basketball.
Start of the fourth quarter. We'll start with Viewmont, and it's been Viewmont's day. They lead by 27 points. Eldridge terminates, gives it up to Johnson. Johnson working off the dribble. Hanging shot won't go. And the rebound to Prince. Prince hands back to Ivans, now on the angle with Lyman. Lyman now up top with Ajak. Ajak just had that outstanding block. Now Ivans on the angle. Prince, Bringhurst. Lyman cuts along the baseline. Oh, nice find inside. That was good ball movement. And Bringhurst will go to the line to shoot two.
And that's what I'd been hoping Taylorsville would do much earlier in this ball game, is get that zone of Viewmont moving with your ball movement, create some space, particularly in that 8 to 10 foot range, and then be able to attack the hoop from there.
Bringhurst back rims that first free throw.
Josh Richards
He's got another.
will replace Aldridge with those 4 fouls.
Bringhurst missed the first. Knocks down the second. So the 26-point lead. The floor we go with Viewmont. Outside. Mikel Jenkins had the ball. Hewish crossed the key to Jenkins. Reverse it, scored, and one. That man comes off the bench. Still trying to find him on the roster, and he gets a reverse layup and a foul.
Now called on number 25.
An excellent job, the power dribble. Able to move him to the other side of the rim, past the D. Rewarded with the bucket and a foul.
Jenkins at the line.
And he calmly knocks down the +1 free throw. Lyman on the angle. Give it up to Bringhurst. Bringhurst to Prince, now Ajak. In the corner, Lyman. Lyman up top, Ivins, now Bringhurst. Kicks it back out. Lyman for 3, off the mark. Ajak looking for the board, but Walker comes away with it. Ajak gets the foul on the far side, and will inbound on the far side.
Mario Ajak. Third personal, third team foul.
13th foul on the Warriors. In a season that was really didn't look very promising until they hit region play. And once they hit region play, things started going pretty well for them. And they had 2 losses in region to Hunter,
Lyman picks up
and
his
then
first, 4th Warriors team foul.
and also Granger. Oh, nice find inside, and Austin Johnson gets the bucket.
Johnson for 2.
You know, you talk about this Taylorsville season, and in region play, this was a team that was scoring a lot of points. I think they only scored under 60 twice in region play. Tonight, the offense clearly hasn't been there for them, but typically this is rare for them offensively.
Ajak for 3. That doesn't go. And the rebound, I believe, would be Ivins going the line to shoot 2 free throws.
Now called on number 22, Cole Hewitt, his first, 13th foul.
Well, the hard part of it is Region 2, I mean, just being honest, was down this year.
Yeah.
And you look at Region, I mean, everyone wants to talk about, well, if you didn't precede, you have Region 4 that has teams that probably get in. You have, I think Lehigh is probably the best bottom.
That's a tough draw, isn't it?
Ivins missed the first, has got one more. But you know, we were talking about that first free throw that, you know, if you're Lehigh and you're looking up, they lost a bunch of games by 1 point and 1 possession in region play. I mean, that was tough in the toughest region in the state. Inbound into Johnson. We're going to have a foul. Ivins thought he had a steal.
Called on number 20, Connor
Well, and you can make the same case about Harriman, too. I mean, they were competitive in that Region 4, not eliminated till the last day of the season.
Well, then you look at Westlake. Westlake beats American Fork,
Yeah.
who could have tied Lone Peak for the #1 seed. So inbound for Viewmont, and a jumper from Richens.
You know, and the amazing thing is when you talk about Region 2, you've got 2 future D1 players in Noah Togiai and McCall Maween out of Granger. So it's not like Region 2 is completely, there's some good talent in the region.
On the angle now with Jameson Smith. Drop it inside. Smith, a series of moves, kicks it back out. Larson for 3, and Larson rattles it home.
Larson.
This is tough when the team on the other end, you look at it, it's like, why can't we do that? And it's just one of those days where things just don't go your way, and it's tough when it's the first round of the state tournament, where they really haven't had a day like this since maybe December. Jump ball before the bucket, and possession now belongs to Taylorsville.
Well, and the Vikings showed up early. I mean, they got out to that 8-0 run. You know, it was a quick start to the ball game for Viewmont. A couple big threes, really got the momentum going for them.
And Jameson Tongue knocks down another triple. That's Tongue's 4th. And then out of bounds on the inbound. Larson stepped across, and it'll be T-ville ball.
Tongue's had a nice game today for the senior. 16 points.
Yeah, he's got 4 threes. His last 4 buckets are threes. And missed that one. And out of bounds. Will stay here once again with T-ville. Inbound into Ivins. Work it around the top. High post, kick out, Tongue for 3. And Tongue, his last 5 buckets are threes. 67-38, 4.5 remaining in the 4th quarter. Up the floor we go with Avai. Jumper in and out from Richens. Tracked down by Ivins. Ivins on the push. 4:15 now on the clock. In the corner, Lyman, give it up Ivins. Ivins, left hand, leaves it short. Prince went and got the board, ripped away. Now saves it out to Ivins. In the corner, Lyman for 3. And Lyman can't get it to go. Nice hustle by Dalton Black, and then it hit him. He saved it off of Avai, and then it hit him. And we'll go the other way.
How the ball bounces, right? Make a good play to save it. Comes right back and backfires.
3 minutes and 55 seconds remaining. The Vikings well in control, 67-38. Drop it in to Jenkins, and Jenkins is fouled. And that will now put Viewmont in the bonus. Check that, they were quick to the trigger.
Very quick.
Board. So, next foul will be 1-on-1 free throws. Inside, can't get the handle on it. Cleghorn couldn't handle it. Hook on the push. Here's Ivins. And now a foul on the drive.
Vikings foul call on number 21, Tanner Avai.
Avai on the foul. We got a timeout. We'll take it with them. 3:41 remaining in the 4th quarter. Viewmont 67, Taylorsville 38.
Also, Bingham Riverton start at 7:30 this evening, and we'll wrap up this first day of the 5A with Layton, the number 2 seed from Region 1, taking on Hillcrest. That one's scheduled for a 9:10 tip-off here tonight.
Out of the timeout with the Warriors. Here's Tongue. Ivins, cross court to Lyman. Lyman drop it inside to Mackey. 3 on the way from Ivins, and it crawls off. Jenkins with the board. And now a foul will be charged to Black, and that will be 1-on-1 free throws. 3:26 remaining in the 4th. We'll have 3 free throws the rest of the way for Viewmont.
He picks up his second. Team foul number 7, so in the penalty, 1-on-1 coming.
Crowd a little more sparse than we had this morning. This morning we had full student sections. And
we'll have full student sections tonight.
Certainly hope so. Front end 1-on-1, missed by Jenkins on the push now. Ivins gives up the Tongue. Back to Ivins on the angle now on Lyman. Try to go high post up. Avai knocked it away. Lyman along the baseline. Mackey. And Black couldn't finish. Quick down the floor now with Viewmont. Coach Emery still coaching. He was not happy with spacing. Here's Avai. Avai wrap around. And Cleghorn gives it up. The jumper on the way wouldn't go for a Vi, and we'll go the other way with Taylorsville.
Now checking in for the Vikings.
Play down the floor now, Ivans and the Warriors. Tongue, give it back to Ivans, now Lyman. 3 on the way for Tongue. And go, Lyman saves it in. Long jumper from Ivans. Black, surprised it wasn't a foul call, but I think this is late in the game. The officials will hold on a little bit here. Cleghorn out to Vi, now in the corner. Larson for 3. And Larson knocks down his second.
Great ball movement around the perimeter that time. The extra pass to find Larson wide open in the corner.
Lyman thought about 3. Ivans hands back to Tongue. Tongue, a deep 3, well off the mark. Clean on the floor, broken up by Mackey. Saved in
2 minutes in the ball game.
by Giovanni. And then again, a series of things. Giovanni hits the deck. I missed how that happened. The Viewmont students who are here were none too pleased with it.
Yeah, you know, he was a little physical on that previous possession trying to save it. Wonder if there was maybe some retaliation.
And now Larson called for the charge as Lyman hits the deck.
Offensive foul.
15th foul on the Vikings. And now a full line change come in for the Warriors.
His second, 5th.
Way to embrace your inner hockey, Dusty. So proud of you.
It was the state championships this last weekend. 32-point lead. Barlow along the baseline. That's Valamakis. Now back to Barlow. Barlow will pull for 3. And that's off the mark. Rebound to Cleghorn. Cleghorn on the push. Ajax. Man, that kid just gives effort. Comes down the floor. He was right there for a steal. It leads to a jump ball, and possession arrow belongs to Viewmont.
And just a junior, so he's coming back for the Warriors next year.
A lot of juniors and sophomores on this team. As Stringham gets it in. Up top with Taylor. Now, we don't have a 44 in our roster. We apologize. That shot off the mark. And the rebound collected by Valamakis. And then we had a foul. Probably number 44 is Lewis Johnson.
Given to number 33, Ryan Cleghorn, his first, team foul number 6.
So down the floor we go with the Warriors. Outside Ajax. Ajax cross court Barlow. Inside of a minute remaining in the 4th quarter. Just semantics here as Bringhurst fouled. They'll go to line to shoot 2.
Give the foul to number 35, Jared Stringham, his first, team foul number 7.
And that shot off the mark by Bringhurst. The winner of this game is going to get the winner of Lone Peak and Copper Hills. So actually, Viewmont, I should say. Viewmont will get the winner of Lone Peak and Copper Hills, which would be the second meeting of Lone Peak and Viewmont, which was a closer game than the score indicated. Frank Jackson fouled out like 4.5 minutes left in that game, and it was a 6-point game. Bringhurst missed the first and gets the second.
You know, I'll tell you about this Viewmont team. They play good D. They actually have pretty good size. It's a team that could win some games.
It's a matter if the outside ball is falling.
Yep.
And when that's the case, you really leave, that's a big wild card. And so for Viewmont, it'll be an interesting game because either game for them on Wednesday will be very interesting because Copper Hill is a team that plays very well and shoots the 3 as well. So a foul, and we'll put the foul on Cleghorn will put T-ville back at the line.
Yeah, that Copper Hills team, very, very guard-heavy team. And that's why it could be a really fun matchup when you got guys like Walker and Johnson dealing with some of those guards like Sanchez, and that could be a fun one.
Valamakis gets the second.
And in for the Warriors, number 10, James Currents. Replacing Valamakis.
Valamakis will give way inside of 40 seconds. Equip it to the floor now. Lewis Johnson working on Barlow. He gives it up. Valamakis, man, he's being hounded on that far side. It was Gage Bradley gets a turnover. Gage Bradley, I can tell you what he ate for lunch.
Yeah.
So outside to Barlow. But now Currents inside of 20 seconds now remaining in the fourth quarter. In a tough game for Taylorsville and a tough way for Jameson Tung to end his career at T-ville. That was a big block there by Giovanni.
And Ramey Prince as well, a senior for these Warriors.
Prince and Thomas Mackey. Crosby Bringhurst, 3 on the way, and good for Jimmy Currents, and brings a big cheer from the Warrior faithful who are still hanging around. 5 seconds now remaining. Viewmont brings it in the front court, and the Vikings will move on to the second round of the state tournament. The final score, Viewmont 70, Taylorsville 44. Congratulations to Viewmont on moving on to the second round. For Taylorsville, congratulations on the season getting into the state tournament. And again, our final score, Viewmont 70, T-ville 44. Stay tuned for our post-game wrap-up and our Nudge Player of the Game selection.
Will play in the quarterfinals Wednesday. 4:10 is the tip. Viewmont Vikings 4:10 on Wednesday in the quarterfinals, taking on the winner of our next ball game, the Lone Peak Knights and the Copper Hills Grizzlies, coming right up.
And again, welcome back to the Event Center. Again, a big win for Viewmont High Schools. They win 70-44 over Taylorsville in a nice game. They got started from the very beginning. Let's first give us a couple thoughts about Taylorsville. This team getting into the state tournament. The last 2 years, they've been bounced in the first round. Last year, the region champion. This year, they come in at number 2, and it's tough for them to go through that. But this is a program that hadn't been in the state tournament in a long time, and they're getting things put together and doing a nice job. Jameson Tung today had 5 threes. It was his last 3 possessions, or last 3 buckets. The last 5 buckets were all threes and 19 points, and so he did a nice job. Our Nudge Player of the Game has to go to Austin Johnson. Austin Johnson, 23 points, tore it up today for Viewmont. Got things started on the right note for Coach Emery and the Vikings, and they're now going to move on to the second round. Congratulations to them. They're going to get the winner of Lone Peak and Copper Hills, and that'll be a tough matchup no matter what happens. But congratulations to Coach Emery and the Viewmont Vikings, and our Nudge Player of the Game, Austin Johnson. With over 500 employees, Nudge, one of the fastest growing companies in Utah Valley. To learn more about Nudge and their community outreach programs, go to www.nudge.com. Again, our final score, Viewmont 70, Taylorsville 44. For Vince Francis and Thompson Coles, Dane Stewart, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and watching High School Rewind's coverage of the 2015 5A Boys State Championship Basketball Tournament, brought to you on live.ksl.com, DeseretNews.com, and anytime on Xfinity On Demand.